All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy June 25th coming to you, feeling alive, feeling fresh, feeling awake. I've been on the grind this morning since 4 a.m. because my calendar reflects my ambition. And I want to keep on saying this to you guys. Your calendar needs to reflect the ambition that you have in life, the impact that you truly, truly want to make. I'll ask you, if you really, really think that you want to be successful and you're truly, truly about this, then show me your calendar. And I promise you, your calendar will tell me, are you about this game? Are you about your ambition? Are you about your success? Or do those two statements not align? You guys, that is on you. Build the calendar that is based off of your ambitions and what you truly want to do in this business. And so you guys, I'm excited for our conversation today. It is the eve of Silas's birthday. My little dude is going to be 7. Right. And I think about the impact that my kids have had in my life. I think about the man that I am today. I pride myself in being a very, very present father. I pride myself in being a great father, and they've made me a better person. And raise your hand if your children have just made you a better person overall in this life. I thought I was pretty cool before. I thought I had some things together, but I'll tell you what, having my kids, they've just shaped the human that I am, and Larissa and Kai Kai, they have also shaped me, even though they're not my biological. Everyone, whenever they see Kai, they're like, "Oh, she looks just like you," because our skin tone is the same. But I'm just been very grateful today to be able to have little ones still running around, making noises, making messes, because I know that there'll be a day where there's not messes and there's not toys all around. You're not stepping on Legos with your bare feet. There'll be a time where that doesn't happen. And so embrace the time that you have with them. I'm excited. So you guys, as always, we're going to bring everybody out on the field on this amazing Wednesday morning. And that person, and you guys, by the way, we got some guests on the line today. If you can, be here, be present, be in the moment, throw your cameras on, and let's show them what we do here. I'm going to go over to Ashley. Ashley, you're that person this morning. Ashley, I'm going to have you bring us out on the field. I'm also going to get some dialogue and some insight from you as well as Jeff today, because we're going to talk about the market. So let's go, Ashley. What do you got for us?
Good morning. When you stepped on the Legos, that reminded me, my daughter conned me into slime. Slime is one of the toys I usually do not have in our house, but she learned how to swim yesterday, and she said, if I swim, you have to buy me slime. So I'm buying her slime today. She won. My sentiment for the day is, believe it or not, we are almost halfway through the year. So I would say to look at all of the New Year's resolutions you had in January, take an inventory of the habits that you said you were going to do, anything you fell off, and have a new day one starting today. Whatever we do today is going to impact Christmas. It's going to impact the end of the year activities. It's going to it's going to impact Thanksgiving, the food we have on the table. Everything is going to snowball into the end of the year. So really double down right now, because that is going to determine what type of end of the year you have.
God, I absolutely love this. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being present as always. Jeff, good to see you. You guys, let's go ahead and get rolling. And once again, if you guys have the ability to be here, be present, be in this moment with your cameras on, you guys, I cannot stress how important that is. These calls are recorded. Want to make sure to feature you on YouTube and other things that we do with the clips. But you got to be here. You got to be in the moment. You got to be present. You got to get involved. All right. So you guys, a lot of things that are happening in the market right now. And I feel that this is an amazing, amazing time for us to capitalize with our buyers. I think there's more room for negotiations right now. I think that obviously there's more inventory, which leaves the opportunities for us to get more negotiate or have more negotiation power than we've ever had in the recent months and the recent years. And so I want to just go to you guys. I want to have a quick conversation with you. You guys are out there writing offers. I got an article that I want to share with you, but you guys are writing offers. You're experiencing different things. You're doing the research. You're looking at the comps. You're experiencing different nuances and patterns in these different markets all throughout the Bay, Central Valley, as well as the Sacramento area. And so want to hear from you guys. 3 people get involved in this conversation. Talk to us about what the market is, what you're seeing in the market right now. Good, bad, and ugly. So don't be shy. This is where we practice. This is where we improve our craft. So who's got something for me? I need 3 people to get involved. Before we go to Ashley, before we go to Jeff, who wants to talk to me? State of the market address. Share with me what they got. So I got 1, 2. I need at least 1 more person to get involved in this conversation. High-level conversation about the market and what you're seeing and what you're experiencing. And you guys, don't leave me hanging. We got guests on the line today. All right, Patrick, cool. Let's do this. We'll go Patrick because I know that you're on the road. I want to make sure that we can get you while your audio is good. Patrick, what are you experiencing in the market right now? Let's go, big dog.
Yeah, no, so right now, definitely a buyer's market. I'm seeing a lot of activity actually on my end with my buyers. I think a lot of the doubt is kind of being alleviated right now, I guess on my end. But also, I think it's also a marketing the fact that it's really easy to negotiate right now, which is the biggest selling point to my buyers right now. But also on the seller side, I feel like I don't know, it's a bit tough. I don't know. I'm not really in the listing side, so I would hope some insight on that side as well. But for me, I guess the market's increasing a little bit, the activity on my end, especially in San Francisco. I think it's a little bit more popping now. It's getting a little more hot. So that's what I'm seeing on my end, at least. Sacramento, I'm loving this area. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
All right, so for you, have you sold homes in the Sacramento area before?
No, this is I actually just went in my first escrow in Sacramento. But actually from that I've got two other clients that are really attacking this area, and I'm like looking at the inventory over here. It's the days on the market is 30 days over, and I don't know, I feel like such an easier negotiation over here. I feel like people are attracted to this area.
All right, has anybody on the call worked any Sacramento leads recently? Can talk to him about what to expect, patterns, conditions, nuances. Michael, was that a hand up for that or for something separate?
Something separate, just to add into the conversation.
Cool. Anybody have any insight? I know, Cortez, you're working that market. Chris and Sophia, they are out camping right now up in the hills. Anybody else? Princess is on. Princess, any insight on that Sacramento market?
Yeah, good morning. So I'm out with a buyer right now. I know listings have gone up tremendously for this person. We've kind of been fluctuating, and at one point it was very stagnant, very limited, and now it's just over 90 listings alone. Obviously we're not gonna look at every 90 all 90 listings, but like there's so many opportunities. Like I'm actually about to write an offer where we're gonna ask for closing costs. Like I'm just shooting my shot to see, like, hey, are you willing to work with us? But definitely a lot of opportunities within the low 400 range for buyers if they're looking. So
Beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate you, Princess. Thanks for being here. Let's go to H-Bomb. H-Bomb, what do you got? What market are you going to talk about? What are the patterns, conditions, nuances that you're experiencing right now? Let's roll.
All right. Well, being that I typically am on the listing side, I just went into contract on my listing, and it took a really long time. I mean, not long, I guess, if you really look at the industry in a whole, but what I'm accustomed to, I think when I had done my market report, whatever, our market update, it on average in Stanislaus County was 34 days on market, and we hit that right on the nose. I had it listed really well, good looking house. It showed well. Honestly, I was shocked that it took so long. And I've just noticed that a lot of buyers are, asking for credits. They're coming in at asking and asking for a seller credit on top of that. So it's definitely a buyer's market, because I think that it's gonna take a while for sellers to come around to the fact that their home is just gonna sit a little bit longer. So when we're hitting like that 2 to 3 week mark, they're already having panic attacks, and it's like I really think that we have a lot of inventory, more so than we have buyers. People are really fixated on those interest rates. But then again, that's where our conversations come into play, where I've had many that are like, honestly, I would rather be a buyer in this market right now because you have less competition. You're going to look and it's going to be price drop, price drop, price drop. And then what do you think is going to happen as soon as those interest rates do go down? There's going to be a ton more competition. Home prices are going to go up. So it's pretty sluggish here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on getting your listing sold. Did you have multiple offers?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I did get one. We did, where you have that conversation where they want to submit an offer, and it was ridiculous. So it was like, call me back when you're not high. And so we got a second offer. You know, we weren't super excited with it. But you know, we had just got to the point, well, you know, let's counter them. Let's try to make something work. And then on the buy side, I have buyers right now. It's a probate. I know that it's been signed. But they weren't really looking. They were one specific property that they wanted. So I can't really comment too much on a buyer experience on that end.
All right, Heather, well, I appreciate your contribution. Let's go Michael Swanson, then we'll go Mary, then we'll go Lisa, then we're going to shift gears in the conversation. What do you got for us, Swanee?
I mean, it's definitely a buyer's market. All my buyers are happy, and all my sellers are pissed right now. So, like, me and Ashley actually closed a deal last month. We closed a deal. It was 30,000 under market value, and we got a $15,000 credit. Right. So that was great for them. I'm under contract right now in San Jose for 10,000 under asking with a $10,000 credit. I got a couple sellers that they want to sell, but they're kind of holding off right now. They're holding off, hoping the market picks up. So it's really it's a high buyer's market right now. You know, all your marketing should go towards the buyers right now because it's time to get them out there.
You know, I absolutely love this, and you guys have an ability right now to shoot your shot. Now, obviously, if you're in a super competitive, you know, area, Poets Corner, somewhere in the Bay, like, you know, be very strategic. But at the end of the day, you guys all have the ability to truly shoot your shot right now and get into a negotiation conversation. Now, there's an article that just came out from Redfin, and it stated that just 20% of homes are selling above asking price. It is the lowest springtime level since 2020. What's cool about this is that this article right here, if you dissect this article and you take stuff out of this article, this will serve as a really good video for you guys to say, listen, if you're a buyer in the market right now, I want to share some things that are in your favor right now. You need somebody that's going to negotiate hard on your behalf. 28% of all homes are selling above asking price. Just 20% of homes are selling above asking price. So what that means is over the course of the last 5 years, you have the advantage. Now, it's not going to be like that in all markets. However, overall, buyers right now, you have an advantage. You have the upper hand. Why? Because there's more inventory right now. So as a buyer, you have more of a selection, and sellers are more apt to offer you concessions because they don't want you to walk from purchasing that property. So sellers are more open to offering concessions. As we stated before, still over 55% of all of the deals that have gone into contract since August 14th or 17th of last year still are offering agent concessions. And what's great about this is that you guys are making more money since the settlement. Last year was 5.32% was the average commission that each of us were getting paid. Right now, it's 5.44%. So we're making more money because you all have the ability to go in there and negotiate and fight for your guys' money. So I believe that we're at a really good time in our market. And with everything that's going on overseas and the looming war and the conversations and everything, it hasn't really impacted us. Can it impact us? There's a possibility, but as of right now, man, Michael, shoot your shot, do your thing, and get in those conversations for negotiation. I'll drop that article in just a moment here. Mary, let's hear from you. Then we'll go Lisa. Then I want to hear from Ashley and from Jeff. So Mary, what do you got for us?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, it is definitely a buyer's market. I've been touring with a lot of buyers between San Francisco and Oakland. What I'm seeing is that in San Francisco, even though, you know, it's been on the market for 30, 40 plus days, sellers are still, you know, pretty much holding firm on their pricing, still multiple offer situations. I've noticed that the multiple offer situations is more towards like multi-unit, you know, properties. And these are especially first-time home buyers that's trying to stretch their dollars and make it work because of the income that they're receiving from the rents. So that's the majority of the buyers that I'm working with right now are first-time home buyers that are considering multi-unit so that they can occupy one and, you know, have the tenants supplement the income. That's the San Francisco market. Oakland market, oh my God, I feel so bad for the seller. It's like I have to call and, you know, prep the buyers, the listing agent, and like, hey, I'm so sorry, this is the offer, and you know, just don't come to my office and beat me up for this. I'm just submitting this offer that makes sense. And surprisingly, I mean, it's unfortunate, but sellers are willing to take a loss. You know, there's a brand new ADU in the back. They just need final permits. I think they put like 200,000, just giving you an example. I think
Yeah.
on a great day, you can probably get $1,050,000 for this property. It's like right in the, I guess, the lower Temescal neighborhood of Oakland. But they're willing to let it go for, 20% off.
Wow.
And they're giving me my 3% commission and also, the buy down rate. And then on top of that, we're gonna try to extend the COE as long as possible. That just depends on where we are with the rate lock and stuff like that. So we're just trying to time it accordingly.
Love it.
Yeah,
Good stuff,
so
Mary.
yeah, it's been, wild, but I enjoy the both, like the best of both worlds, between the East Bay and the West Bay. And then I have a listing coming soon in the Fruitvale district, and that's also a multi-unit situation as well. So
Love it. Love it. Really good stuff, Mary. Love how
thank
much you
you.
know about what's going on. And let's look at this. So
Mhm.
it's here that US metro areas, San Jose, Oakland, and Anaheim, they saw the biggest declines through
Mhm.
more than half of the year. Homes are still selling above asking price in San Jose and Oakland. And so it depends. But check this out. For the sake of this comparison, more than 53% of homes sold above list price in this same period in 2022, but in this same period now, or 2020, 2022, but in the same period now, it's just 28%. So you guys, when you think about this data, it all points in the direction that this is a really, really good time for your buyers. And so I think that what Michael was saying, I totally agree with this. Your marketing should be focused on, yeah, we want you to get the listings. We want you to have the upper hand, but the buyers right now, this is their time. This is their time. And what's going
Definitely.
to happen is they're going to drive the market up over the next 6 months, and then things may shift. But right now, you guys, God, your marketing should be able to depict that. You should be telling these stories to your consumers. You should be writing this down like, hey guys, I helped a buyer get $20,000 over ask or under asking, and I was able to get their concessions and closing, whatever. Like, you should be telling these stories, because that gives buyers hope. That gives the buyers hope, because what they might not be able to afford in their closing costs, you're covering for them in concessions and you're making up that difference. You guys, this is a really, really good time for you to really go all in on your marketing. So Michael, Maori, H-Mom, I appreciate that. Let's go, Lisa, rapid fire for you, and then we're going to go over to Ashley and Jeff, talk about the kind of some numbers behind the scene. Let's roll, Lisa.
Good morning. So interesting situation. I have a seller right now. He bought in the height of 2021. He was one of those buyers who went in, he paid 8% over list price, did no contingencies. And I feel really bad for him because he also did no inspections. Now that he's selling, we are at the bottom of the market from the time he bought, and he put in a little bit of work to the condo. He's having a really hard time recouping what he put in and the overage that he spent at that time. And now the buyers coming in, they're asking for credits, they're doing the inspections, and unfortunately, there was a leak behind a wall, and now there's all kinds of other complications going on. He's not going to recover what he was hoping to, even at the aggressive pricing where we were at. So now it's like he might take it off the market for a little while, rent it out, relist it if interest rates come down. But yeah, sellers are having a really difficult time. Buyers, yeah, way more negotiations and time for inspections.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, which one thing I pride myself on is even during the height of the market, I always said get inspections. Just because you waive inspections doesn't mean you don't get inspections, which is
Right.
wild to me. So
Right.
yeah, great time for buyers.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And you guys, this is just another one of those times where you get to control the narrative and you guys get to market to what is going on. You're always marketing and oscillating through the different messages despite what's going on in the economy, what's going on with interest rates, and whatever the buyer sentiment is or the seller sentiment, you're creating messaging that truly directly impacts that and speaks to that. Because let's look at a timeline. And I just brought a timeline up here. I'm going to do some chicken scratches on this. So bear with me. I'm going to present my screen here and do full screen. All right, so stay with me. Let's just look at a timeline, and I'm going to fill in some things. And let's go. I'll make this timeline a little bit longer here, all right? So in 05, what were the buyers talking about in the market? What was the biggest fear that was happening in the market? Does anybody want to take a guess what people were talking about in 05 about our market? Anybody want to guess? They were talking about a company that rhymes with pillow. Now go. Then you can take yourselves off mute.
Zillow.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. So in 2005, Zillow comes on the scene. And what the buyers were thinking and what the industry was saying is that, oh my God, you as realtors, you're never going to be needed again because they're going to get all this information from Zillow. Well, how did that work out for us? We're still here. We're still doing fine. And we're direct partners with them. Now, what happened in 08 and 09? And feel free to take yourself off mute and just talk because we know the answers, but I just want to hear it out loud. What happened in 08 and 09?
Crash.
Yeah, so the crash. So at that time, oh my God, the economy, the housing market, it's crashing. And what happened that year, even though we had a market crash, homes still sold. People still took market share, no matter what. And let's fast forward a little bit. In 2020, what happened to us early in 2020 that changed the landscape of real estate forever? What happened in 2020, guys? This is a communications log.
Pandemic.
Yeah, the vid, you guys, the vid happened. So that year, in COVID year, they named us unessential, right? For the first couple of the months during COVID, we were unessential. And what happened is that at the end of 2020, they started opening up real estate probably in March, April, beginning of May. When they started opening real estate up, everyone was buying houses. And why were they buying houses? There was this mass exodus east from San Francisco. People now really appreciated needing a home, wanting space, wanting a backyard, wanting room for their family, all the things, neighborhood, community, walking, being outside, all those things. And in 2020, people didn't want to miss out on an opportunity. So what was happening is that they were purchasing well over asking price. They were going all in, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 over asking price, and they drove up the market considerably. And then let's fast forward. In 2022, what started to happen with interest rates, Ashley?
They started going up.
And at the height of our interest rates going up, how far did they go up?
8.125 was the highest I saw.
All right, so let's go 8%. And forgive my chicken scratches here. So 8%, you guys. In 2022, people feared that they didn't want to buy a house because they didn't want to make a bad purchase. But in 2022, did we still sell a shit ton of homes? We still sold a shit ton of homes no matter what. And let's fast forward to 2024. What happened last year in our industry that was supposed to change the landscape of our industry forever? What happened last year?
No. Settlement.
Yes, I think Melody said NAR, somebody else said NAR, and forgive my chicken scratches, this is really hard, but I'm trying here. The NAR settlement happened. Oh my God, it's gonna change everything. Why are people even gonna work with us? Realtors are done, we're doomed. They're not even gonna be able to pay us our commission. And what happened? We ended up making more money year to date than we did last year. And then what happened at the end of 2024? What happened? Did someone get elected? Feel free to get involved, you guys, in the conversation.
Trump.
Election year.
What?
Election year.
Trump, right? All right, so Trump. So now in 2024, what were people saying? The NAR settlement. Well, then we just started getting out of that. We started still selling homes. Then towards the end of the year, what did consumers say? I'm going to wait for election. I'm going to wait for election, right?
Mhm.
And now in 2025, what can people potentially say? Well, maybe there's a war. Maybe something's going to happen. I'm going to wait. The point being, and why we do these conversations here, is no matter what happens, consumer minds go like this. Consumer minds go like this. And it is your responsibility as an agent to keep poise, to keep poise, to understand, to educate, to give them information based on the reality of the market and based on their current needs of why they need to buy a house. Because at the end of the day, we are all paying a mortgage. Every single one of us is paying a mortgage. Whether or not it's your mortgage or somebody else's, I don't give a shit. You're paying a mortgage. And so what we need to understand is the psychology over all these years since 2000, and then before that, no matter what, there's always going to be a reason for somebody to buy and sell real estate. And what we need to do is we need to say, how do I control my marketing through all of this? And I'm so glad that Michael brought this up. How can I control my messaging to, no matter what's going on, that my messaging speaks to exactly what is happening? You guys are the commentators of what is happening in our market. You're the commentators, and what you're doing is you're giving your expert opinion and your vantage point, and you're helping people understand the narrative of what's really going on. So shit's gonna happen in our business. And you guys, I'm just going back a few years, but think 5 years from now, all kinds of other things are gonna show up. All kinds of other things are gonna come in our way, but the people that stay poised, that they perfect their message to market, that they understand how to deliver this information at a high level despite the noise, are the people that will always win in the market. The people that will not win are the people that get fearful, that their voice shudders when they speak about the market, when they speak about conditions and patterns, when they have an energy that is unaware, it is uneducated. That's the type of energy they give off. And so a consumer is going to retreat, and they're going to tell you, we want to think about it, and we're scared. Well, we need to do a better job at making sure that we control the narrative and we control the messaging. So I was inspired by you, Michael, so I wanted to put that timeline on the board. But Maori, you put your hand up again. What do you got for us?
Nothing today. I'm just like a chatterbox because I have my coffee and it's on now, Elias.
Okay, all right, well then go.
Okay. So yeah, it's true. It's just I've seen it all. I've been selling real estate for quite a long time, and this is just my main job. This is my career, my bread and butter. It is a cycle. And obviously you're gonna hear, I've been hearing this for the last 20 years, the same shit with buyers saying, oh, this guy's gonna fall, you know, um, the president's gonna make the wrong decision, we're gonna go into war. It's the same shit. The bottom line is that they're just basic conversations where, number one, are you holding a stable and steady job? How long have you been at your workplace? Do you have a pension? These are all questions psychologically you're asking them so that they're confident enough to know that they can do this versus continuing to pay for somebody's, mortgage. So you tell them you're actually buying into something right now that is really important where you wouldn't be able to buy 4 or 5 years ago. So no matter what's going to happen, the world's going to keep moving. People are going to buy and sell. It's ultimately up to you in your comfort zone. So here's my lender, Ashley, contact her, get the numbers going, and then we'll work on sending you listings and we'll, keep moving. Don't think about, what's happening in the world. Think about your goals. So these are psychological things that you have to explain to them so they know that it's something that's the outside noise, but as a personal goal where they're able to afford it and it's a tax deductible and building multi-generational like wealth, I think that's great. Just add on the positivity and that's what works for me.
I
So
love it. I
yeah,
love it.
I've seen
Really
it
good
all.
stuff. And yeah, you have seen it all. You've been in the game for a long time. So I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Ashley and then go to Jeff. Ashley, what's your contributions on this part of the conversation? Anything else you want to add? Let's roll. Thank you, Maori.
Yeah, good morning. Miori made a great point about you can't You can buy a house now when maybe you couldn't a few years ago. The number one reason people can't afford to buy is because they don't have down payment and closing costs. In this market, down payment assistance programs work where they didn't before. Closing costs can be negotiated when they couldn't before. So there's a mass amount of people that just could not buy just a couple years ago that can in this market. If we can reach them and assure them and ask those psychological questions to make them understand they really can in this market, there's a lot of people that financially are able to that just don't know it. And then also, I dropped the real estate report card into the chat. This is my favorite report to go back to. If you open it up, it will show you historical data. I can do this in any county. I can co-brand it if you want. It's a great tool because it's in writing and it shows you from, I think it's like 1940 or 1960 all the way to now, real estate has gone up. So you can show the chart with all of this chaos and the crash and all this stuff, COVID, and then you can show, but look what real estate's really done. We can look at the drama and what people thought, and we can compare it to facts. We have the data. Here it is. Look at what real estate has really done over the last few decades since inception, basically. And you can show them because we're salespeople. They know that when we say something, they're not going to take it as much as if they see it in writing and they can see it for themselves.
Yeah, this is really good. I absolutely love every time that you share this report. You have to share that with your consumer that is having fear, doubt, trepidation, or anxiety about the market, and then let them interpret that based on what you see here. Tell me your thoughts on it. I want to hear your vantage point from this. And like, you just have to share the data tells the story, you guys, right? We're not here to hype up anything that isn't real. If this is not a good time, we need to be the people that tell them. But and all signs point to this right now being a perfect time for buyers to get into contract and find these opportunities. I met an agent and our client last week in Arizona, got into a house, and only out-of-pocket expense for them was $500. $500. $500, and they bought a new build, right? That's beautiful and brand new community. So good stuff, Ashley. Appreciate your contribution as always. Jeff, let's go over to you, big dog. Let's hear from you. Thoughts, inside contributions from your end.
Well, it's been, I want to say it's been interesting, but it really hasn't, honestly. I mean, it's more of the same. I don't know, someone was kind of talking about that. All the different things that have been thrown our way that you outlined, but for the last 3+ years, it's just been more of the same, depending on, all the different factors. This year, we've really been range bound on our rates. And, with Powell coming out, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, saying that we're waiting on the other shoe to drop. There's tariffs, which could be inflationary. Jobs have kind of held up, although have come back a little bit, but nothing to the point where the Fed's gonna have to be forced to make a decision in terms of lowering rates. So, I mean, the consensus we just had our, CEO on our call the other day, incredibly smart guy that's been doing this for many years. And we're just in this range since the beginning of the year. We've really honestly been between like 6.75 and 7. We've peaked above 7. We peaked below 6.75 on 30-year, but we're just in this range bound. And until we kind of break out of that, hopefully we don't break above it. Hopefully we break below it. But just, keep those, what Ashley was saying, what you had just mentioned about those first-time home buyers. I mean, I saw an article, I didn't have a chance to read it yet, but the headline was down payment assistance isn't a niche anymore. It is, what I think most home buyers out there have to rely on at this point.
Say the title of that article again.
I'll find it too. But the down payment assistance isn't a niche.
Okay, so just pause there for a second, you guys.
Yeah.
I want you to listen to that. I want you to do your homework, and that should be your hook for a video. That should be your hook for a video. Jeff, really good stuff. Sorry for interrupting you. I just get
no problem. So, I sound like a broken record when we're talking about rates and different things, but it is just, I would anticipate being range bound. Maybe that range opens up a little bit. Maybe we can push it down to 6.5 if we see some movement from the Federal Reserve on cutting short-term rates. But even the most optimistic, out there are seeing maybe 2 or 3 cuts this year to the short-term rate. So I wouldn't anticipate anything major happening. Relay that message to your buyers that, look, this is going to be the opportunity to, purchase a home. Existing home sales came out last week. They were down. New home sales are down. There's more inventory. Sellers are more desperate. So outside of just what that interest rate is and the psychological effect of that interest rate on buyers, it is a buyer's market. This is when buyers should be coming into the market, and we just have to message that. So.
Man, really, really good stuff. And you guys, at the end of the day, like this, what's happening in the market needs to be reflected in your marketing, right? This is like the fact that there used to be only certain banks or certain census tracts or certain companies offer this. Like I love that you said that the down payment assistance is no longer a niche. This is just a commonplace, and this is common practice in our market, and we're seeing it. And you guys have experienced it, and so absolutely love this conversation, Jeff. If you find that article, please do drop that down below. But what I want to talk to you guys about, and I got a couple things prepared for you, is I want you to really, really look at your open house structure and your open house SOP. And I'm going to share some thoughts with you around this, because we know that consumers are going to open houses. This is let's call this the funnel of your leads. You have the top of the funnel, you have the middle of the funnel, and then you have the bottom of the funnel, which is your BOFU. Well, if we look at the top of the funnel, this could be like PPC leads. This could be, I don't know why that looks that way. Hold on. The top of the funnel could be like PPC leads. Let's just put this here, PPC leads. This could be Facebook leads. This could be top of the funnel leads, could be people with down payment, or excuse me, with credit challenges. They need to fix their credit. Like, these are top of the funnel. They have a longer time frame to transact. The middle of the funnel are the people that you meet in the community, sporting events, people that you meet with inside of the local affairs that you're a part of, that you're just building that relationship, and you're getting them involved and talking to a lender, and you're starting that process for them. Well, the bottom of the funnel is what I like to think of as the highest propensity to close in a deal in the next 90 days. Now, this could be your Zillow leads, and in the sake of this conversation, this could be your open house leads. What happens is that we understand that the bottom of the funnel, these people are actually out in their cars looking at houses. Well, if we are not preparing for the bottom of the funnel, then we're not doing our best job to make sure that we capture these leads. And there's a whole system behind this, and we won't be able to go all through that right now, but we need to pre-plan better for, let me erase this. We need to pre-plan better for open houses, knowing that these buyers are out there, they're hungry, they're ready. We need to build an SOP that allows us to really focus on our pre-marketing plan before we even get to the open house, because the messaging is in the videos, it's in the database, and it's in, obviously, the day of. But here's what happens. Most of us run an open house like this. Most of us are doing an open house. Oh my God, it's 2 hours. I'm running around. I'm frantic. I got to put my open house signs out. And let me pause for a quick second. How many of you have ever fallen into that right there? What you see on the screen? Please raise your hand if that's ever been you prepping for an open house. Knowing that these people are bottom of the funnel, knowing that that one open house is an avenue and a vessel for you to capture multiple leads in multiple different ways. And so this, unfortunately, is us. This is us running frantic on a Saturday morning. And their energy, as we get there, we turn on the lights, and oh my God, someone pulls up. That's the type of energy. And fellas, I got one for you too. This is you. And so what I want to encourage everybody to do is I want to encourage everybody to look. Nicole, was that a new hand up, or was that for this?
It's for this, but I'll let you get through your.
No, because I'm on a roll. So you go first.
Okay, so when I first started, I had that feeling. I felt like that picture right there. And I'm one that feels physically ill if I'm late. I hate being late just because I don't want to fall into stereotypes and shit. So I physically ill about being late. And after that, I said, okay, because one, I didn't feel as prepared as I should, and I didn't have I usually like to get up in the morning if I can and put my signs out and go back home before it's even time for my open house, do what I got to do and go there. But I decided myself, if it's after Wednesday, I'm not taking it because I don't have enough time to get out there and door knock. I don't have enough time to get my marketing back and put it everywhere that I need to put it to maximize. It's just like run in and do. And you can't expect anybody to show up if you haven't created the situation. So I started trying to make open houses more like a party in my head. Like, let me at least, if nothing else, go up and down the street and invite the neighbors because who's going to come? It's not necessarily always buyer leads that come in. You can get
That's right.
listing leads from open houses as well. They're watching you. They're like, who is this weird person putting out signs? Who? Oh, okay, it's a real. You like that. Everyone's looking at what's going on outside their house. So there's a lot of free situations that come from doing the open house.
That's right. And I appreciate your insight on that. You guys, the last thing I want you to do is knowing that we're in such a powerful buyer's market right now. The last thing that I want you to do is miss an opportunity because we didn't prepare ahead of time. Every system, everything that you do has a system, has a flow, has a cadence, has a standard operating procedure around it. And open houses are no different. And so obviously everyone should have their war kit. We've talked about this in-person coaching before. A war kit is that thing that sits in your trunk or in your garage ready to go. It has all your essentials. It has your toilet paper, it has your Kleenex, it has your Clorox wipes, it has your pens, it has your notepads, it has your speaker, it has your extra charger. It has everything that you're going to need for your open houses. Because if I open up a lot of your trunks right now, it's a bunch of loose papers. There's probably some open house signs in there. It is probably a mess. I get it. It happens to the best of us, but what I want everyone to do is to have a war kit. And what I want everyone to do is focus on their open house marketing timeline. You guys are master marketers. The ones that market the most are the ones that will take the most market share, and that will be now until the end of our time. So the marketing open house timeline, and I'm so glad that Nicole brought up early in the week, coordinate with a partner or another agent for the week. I want you to go to the house. Go to the house and record a video that invites everybody to come. Hey guys, what's up? This is Stavo. I'm hosting an open house this Saturday and Sunday at 123 Main Street here in Stockton. It's a beautiful house situated on a cul-de-sac. Let's go take a quick tour. You're going to shoot that video in front of the house, then go do a tour of the property. And then on Wednesday, you're going to post that video on your social media. Don't worry about it being edited. Don't worry about being polished. Go and post that video. Send that video out. I don't care if you have 5 people in your database or 5,000 people in your database. Everyone gets that video in your database. You send it to everyone. Why? The idea is we want to create a rhythm and a thought of being omnipresent. Omnipresent defined is in all places at all times. We want your whole entire database seeing, well, okay, she's busy, he's busy. Even if they're not looking at that market, maybe they know somebody. Maybe they know somebody. Send that out. If it's your video or your listing, obviously send that out to your entire database. Now, here's where we miss opportunities. When you have an open house and you dedicate, no matter what, hell or high water, I'm knocking on 50 to 100 doors every single time, or I pulled a list and I'm calling every single person in that neighborhood, or at least for that 100 list, 50 list. I'm calling everybody. I'm not doing anything. I'm calling them, inviting them to their neighbors only open house. I'm shooting a video, a local coffee shop, a restaurant, a place of interest, somewhere close by. And what I'm telling the people is that, hey guys, here is Tellus Coffee. This place has the best chia pudding and best lattes. I got that for me. I'm on my way to actually check out the open house I'm doing. It's literally 1 mile away. So before the open house on Saturday, come check out Tellus. And what are you doing? You're tagging Tellus and you are collaborating with them on that video. And your hope is that they repost that on their wall or they put that on their story. So all these strangers that like that place are seeing your shit. And now you're leveraging OPA, other people's audiences. Now, You post that video, you put on all your platforms, you create a video on social media, and then on Saturday or Sunday, you're doing your neighbors only open house. You guys, the idea behind open or knocking or calling is to gain data about the market, or excuse me, about that neighborhood, and to find the people that might be thinking about a move, right? That's why we're doing that. But what we do is we say, oh shit, okay, I got 2 hours. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna set up my things. And now all I'm doing is I'm rushing frantic energy to go to an event that I know has the highest propensity to give me leads that are at the bottom of my funnel. But I'm not even putting a marketing strategy behind it. Does that make sense, you guys? If you can elevate your marketing strategy and your marketing timeline for every single open house that you do, I promise you, I don't care if only 2 people come to the open house. It's all good because you've done all these other layers of marketing. It shouldn't be that day. It shouldn't be you going out there and preparing. It should be layers and layers and layers and layers of marketing. And then the final product, yeah, it's the open house. But you guys have done all this other marketing that gives you even more heightened visibility and more opportunities to capture leads. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up, give me a high five, give me any of that. So you guys, I want you to really look at your marketing timeline. We'll talk about these other things, but what I've done is I've put the marketing timeline here. Feel free to grab that. If you came to my session a couple months ago, we did an in-person on this, but we're gonna spend a lot of time here. We're gonna talk about the dialogue and really how to capture, how to convert the leads, how to get them into your world versus saying, do you have a realtor? Are you working with somebody? Do you have an agent? That's bullshit. All I want you to do is I want you to love on these people. Welcome them in. Come on in, you guys. So glad that you're here. Go check out the property. And before you leave, I got some information about the house and about the community that you cannot see. And then when they come back to you on a scale from 1 to 7, what did you think of the house? It was a 7. Why so high? It was a 2. Why so low? Who's the person in your corner right now helping you understand everything that you need to know about this market? Who's the person in your corner right now helping you understand what goes into making a competitive offer and how to get that accepted? Cool. Here's what we do next. And you book for a fucking buyer consultation. Here's another one, you guys. Here is a video that I did years back about that script exactly. If you haven't seen it, take the script. We have some guests on the line here. And then one more thing. You have this scripts here if you have clients that are re-engaging, meaning that maybe you're hosting open houses last year. The market was different. So here's a couple scripts that you guys can use to start re-engaging those people that might be on the fence. And now you start to share this article with them, right? The article from Redfin, the information that you're hearing from Ashley, from Jeff, from your peers, and you start sharing that with them and you start to re-engage these leads. Hey, Tom, I know we spoke last year, met you at the open house at 123 Main Street. There's been some significant changes in the market that will impact you positively as a buyer. Have you given up on dreams of home ownership? Have that conversation with people. So you guys, I'm fired up about this because I know where the market is. We study the market, we understand the market, and now our messaging the messaging matches what is happening around us in all of our communities. So I'm gonna pause because your boy's fired up about this. I look at this as opportunities for you guys. And when I see opportunities for you guys to build, to market, to capture more leads, all I'm seeing is the vacations that you're taking with your family on social media. That's what I see for you guys. But you guys are either gonna sleep on your efforts or you're gonna say, you know what? I got this one open house. I got this marketing vessel. For this entire next 4 days, I'm gonna fucking double down. The videos, the door knocking. I'm gonna post a video from a local coffee shop and do a video in front of the place. I'm gonna get there early. I'm gonna invite the neighbors. I'm going all in on this one open house. And imagine this. Imagine you did this fire open house. 30 families came in and you went back and knocked on those same neighbors' doors. Hey, Tom, we met the other day. I just want to come back and let you know we had 30 people come to the open house. So I just want to give you that information. If you're ever thinking about putting your house on the market, guys, what a great opportunity for you. That's what I got for you guys. I'm gonna go around the room, get some thoughts and some takeaways on our conversation today. Let's go over to Haley Youngblood. She is a guest of ours from Gen Oak. So Haley, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll. Haley, that's your cue.
Hi, everybody. My name is Haley. I'm a new agent. I passed the exam recently, so very happy to be here. So one takeaway is someone wrote in the chat, it's like a cake, lots of layers to the top. So that is something that um, grabbed my attention because as a new agent, like I'm learning, so um just made me like recognize that I have to put in the effort in order to
Right.
reach results.
Right. Haley, I'm so glad that you said that because we are paid in direct correlation to the amount of action that we choose to take in this business. Choose is the operative word there. So many people know what to do, but they don't make that choice. And if you can make that a conscious choice always to take action, move forward, do it gritty, do it scared, do it imperfect, but just do it consistent, I promise you, you'll win. You'll win in this game. Haley, thank you for being here as a guest today. Looking forward to having more conversations with you. Ashley, you had your hand up really quick. Key thoughts, takeaways from our time together today. Let's roll, big dog.
I don't think I did have my hand up, but
Went up and then went down. It's okay.
my key thoughts are that you're exactly right with the knocking on doors and doing all your preparation and marketing beforehand and getting prepared for the open houses and any marketing that you're doing. It's all a numbers game. The more effort that you put into it, the more people that you're in front of, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. So you can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows you exist, you're not going to make any money.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Good stuff. Joanne, I'm going to go to you. One key thought, one key takeaway, and then we'll close shop with Demian. Let's go, Joanne.
Okay, so adjust your marketing based on the market. So like Michael said, it's a buyer's market, adjust your marketing for the buyers. I listened to a podcast, it's Joshua Smith with GSC Mode, and that's what he talks about too. He says it's never a good market or a bad market. You would just have to figure out who the market is good for.
Ooh. Oh, that is powerful. Great stuff, Joanne. Way to drop some fire. Let's go, D. Bledsoe. What do you got for us, big dog?
What did Ashley say? Shake more hands, make more bands?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, I like that. But no,
shake and bake or something like that.
No, the whole open house strategy though, that's genius because again, if that's all you have going and you do know that early enough in the week, even if you do 2 or 3 of those 5 actions that you said, you know, some people may not take the whole list and do all that, but even if you take a few, it's way more advantageous than just showing up at the open house and hoping that people come through. So I like the strategy.
Yeah, and it creates more visibility for you. Your database sees you, social media sees you, the neighborhood sees you, shit, the local restaurants see you. Now D. Bledsoe's name is out there multiple times. People he knows and people he does not know. And it's a formula that will win if you stick to it. So D, I appreciate you. Mayora, you're the last contribution. Rapid fire, one key thought, one key takeaway. Let's roll.
Thank you, everyone. Just remember that you are a professional. You know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, you have teammates, people that's here to help support you. That's why we're all in it together. So you are the professional, you know what you're doing, and stay committed, keep hustling, keep moving.
I love it. I love it. So you guys, we're going to go further into this dialogue because I want to capture that moment that people walk in, how you're getting them to communicate with you, the energy that you're giving off as soon as they walk in, and then how are you having that dialogue to book for a buyer consultation at the open house. We're going to continue this conversation because this is where we are. This is going to make an impact for you. And all I want, I just see vacations for you guys. I want you guys to go and do the things that you want to do with your family, but it's going to take you guys doing some extra things because you're not on this team and you're not in this organization to be average. We're not an average team. You did not join this company. You do not come to coaching to be average. I'm looking for extraordinary and I'm looking for the people that want to be high achievers. And I believe if you're in this room, you are that. So you guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your contributions at a very high level. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that matters. Peace, everybody.